note and tell us more about the APCAM. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ram. Respected dignitaries, APCAM board and committee members, ladies and gentlemen. It's a dream day for all of us, not only for the people associated with APCAM, but also to everyone who is connected with mediation and arbitration, either as mediators or arbitrators, or as advocates and users. For the very first time in the world, an international ADR center is being formed in 8 countries today. And very soon, we will have centers in 15 countries in the Asia-Pacific region. The Asia-Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, or in short, APCAM, is an international ADR institution formed jointly by different prominent ADR centers in the region. The vision of APCAM is to assist the international business community to resolve their international and cross-border commercial and business disputes under a single set of mediation and arbitration rules and with a uniform fee structure so that they can resolve their disputes in any of these countries without any hassles or confusion under a single system. More than that, APCAM maintains a single panel of international mediators and arbitrators with uniform accreditation system so as to establish best standards in professional expertise and credibility so that the business community would get the best neutrals and could resolve the disputes in the best manner so that they can create a better business environment in the region. APCAM is administered by a board with members from all countries who have experience and expertise in international dispute resolution methods so that the best practices are ingrained in the system. APCAM is also blessed with an advisory board consisting of the most distinguished and eminent persons who have rendered outstanding contribution in the field from different parts of the world. We hope with the formation of APCAM, with centers in most of the countries, it would create a new system of international dispute resolution, which would create an entirely different business environment in the Asia-Pacific region. I'm happy to announce that the Secretariat of APCAM will be in India for the first 2 years, and then it will move to different countries on rotation. Today, on this auspicious day, on the beginning of the new concept of global justice delivery, we are fortunate to have a galaxy of eminent persons to inaugurate APCAM and to bless us in this new beginning. We have with us Mr. Justice Nariman from India, Mr. Justice Neil McCracker from Australia, Professor Justice Chang Fa Lo from Taiwan, Mr. Nupon Boring from Thailand, Mr. Justice Anup Raj Sharma from Nepal to inaugurate APCAM. We also have the presence of Mr. Justice Madan Lokur from India, Mr. Pongtep Panchana from Thailand, Professor Honorable Clyde Croft from Australia, Professor Nick Comer from Indonesia, Mr. Rimsky Yuen from Hong Kong, Mr. Justice Keshri Raj Pandit from Nepal, and Mr. Dr. Tahir Rahmadi from Indonesia. I should specially thank the presence and blessings of Mr. Justice M.N. Venkatachalaya from India, who I consider as my mentor and who has guided me in all my efforts. I welcome all the dignitaries to this function and all the participants who have accepted our invitation. In fact, as stated earlier, this inaugural function is telecast live on different virtual platforms and reaches more than 10 million people throughout the region. I welcome all of you for this function and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anil Xavier, for the welcome remark and giving us insight about the structure and model. You will be very happy to know that there is 1 day to go for the anniversary of Singapore Convention. So now the time is ripe to take the first step is faith toward the historic development in the field of ADR, the inauguration of APCAM. I would like to invite Honorable Mr. Justice Rohington Nariman, Judge of the Supreme Court of India, to inaugurate APCAM officially. Honorable Justice Nariman is an impeccable and renowned jurist and has given enormous contribution in the field of law throughout his judgment, which has now become the basis of many laws, including ADR. Sir was appointed the Solicitor General in 2011 and has served as a member of Bar Council of India. I request Justice Nariman to kindly inaugurate the APCAM.
Thank you. Mr. Justice Venkatachalya, Mr. Anil Xavier, Justice Lokur, I can see Justice Kurian Joseph, my beloved colleague on the bench with me. Dignitaries from Malaysia, Australia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Thailand, Nepal, Papua New Guinea, and Taiwan. All of you welcome to this historic occasion. APCAM, as Mr. Xavier has already told you, has a certain vision, which is to assist the international business community to resolve their international and cross-border disputes under a single set of mediation and arbitration rules with a uniform fee structure, something which is the crying need of the hour, and to create a single panel of international mediators and arbitrators. What is important is they will have uniform accreditation. The idea being that the best possible standards in both professionalism and credibility, which is most important, then makes APCAM move forward so that disputes may first be mediated and persons kept out of the dispute resolution process, and or if that is not possible, arbitration, so that they are resolved both fairly and in a timely manner. I may indicate at this juncture that our Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act of 2019 has various sections in it in which an Arbitration Council of India is to be set up. Unfortunately, these provisions have not yet been brought into force. Section 43 capital A speaks of the Arbitration Council of India, which shall be a body corporate. The council consisting of a person who is either a judge of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of a High Court, judge of a High Court, or an eminent person, eminent arbitration practitioners, eminent active academicians, 2 secretaries to the Government of India, and 1 representative of a recognized body of industry and commerce. The term of each of these members is to be 3 years. And among other things, it is the duty of the council to take all measures as may be necessary to promote and encourage arbitration, mediation, etc. One of the important functions of this council is to make a grading of arbitral institutions under section 43 capital I. Now, this grading is made on the basis of criteria which relates to infrastructure, quality and caliber of arbitrators, performance and compliance of time limits for disposal of both domestic and international commercial arbitrations in such manner as may ultimately be specified. What is important is that ultimately, when it comes to international arbitrations, the Supreme Court has the power to designate arbitral institutions which are graded by this council. And once these institutions are graded by the council, appointments, etc., are to be channeled through these institutions so that section 11 of our present act will then stand amended, so that only these institutions then do everything from appointment down through carriage of the arbitral proceedings and finally until they reach the courts in terms of challenges. I wish APCAM all the very best. I can see that it has an extremely distinguished advisory board consisting of the pater familias of the Indian judiciary. First and foremost, that is our beloved ex-Chief Justice Venkatachalya, Justice Madan Lokur, a former colleague of mine, and various former Chief Justices or Justices belonging to several countries. I have no doubt whatsoever that once APCAM begins functioning, it will fill in this important void that at the moment is not yet filled by either any real institution in that sense for the Asia Pacific region, or by the Council of India that is to be set up under this Amendment Act, which then ultimately designates arbitral institutions for purposes of appointment right up to the stage in which the awards reach the final proceedings in courts. Thank you very much. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Honorable Justice Nariman, for the kind words and views full of wisdom on ADR in general. We are honored and humbled by your presence, sir. Rules are of foremost importance for any organization, as they help in providing a sense of predictability and consistency, which helps the parties and professionals involved to focus on the dispute rather than on drafting the sections. We are moving to unveiling the arbitration rules of APCAM. I would like to invite Honorable Justice Neil McGarrigle, Judge, Federal Court of Australia. Sir is the chairperson, Municipal Committee of Australia. He was a Queen's Counsel and the former Commissioner of Supreme Court of Western Australia. He was actively involved in several professional bodies and served for 15 years as a Director, Chairman, and Deputy Chairman of WA Bar Chamber Limited. He has also served as an Acting Commissioner of the Corruption and Crime Commission. I request Honorable Justice McGarrigle to unveil the rules and share your views on this initiative.
Thank you very much for that kind invitation. Distinguished guests, Your Honours, ladies and gentlemen, may I start by congratulating the Board of APCAM on the occasion of its virtual launch, in which I am very honoured to participate. I thank APCAM for the kind invitation. APCAM, as a collaboration of organisations in the Asia-Pacific region, an objective to promote and deliver ADR services, including arbitration and mediation. These are outstanding initiatives. The founding organisations of APCAM are truly representative of the international region. The way we are meeting today is also highly symbolic, with much of the world's arbitration, mediation and court cases being conducted by video during the COVID pandemic. We are constantly learning. Arbitration specifically has been a valued dispute resolution for centuries. In the last century, the most successful instrument was the New York Convention of 1948. Oddly, perhaps, being reached at the height of the Cold War. Despite that timing, agreement was reached in very brief terms, only 4 pages, on this foundational New York Convention, enabling the international recognition of arbitration agreements and enforcement of arbitral awards. Today, arbitration is a massive industry, providing a dispute resolution mechanism that is available to solve many disputes, including international trade disputes, using a neutral tribunal, acceptable to both trading parties, using each party's own lawyers, and producing a result which is enforceable against the losing party. International commercial arbitration has not surprisingly become a huge legal industry with specialist arbitrators, arbitration bodies, and arbitration rules. International commercial arbitration provides a truly international system of trusted commercial dispute resolution. It is a system firmly supported by modern courts throughout this region, as frequent decisions of the courts illustrate. The AMCAP arbitration rules will help parties and arbitrators by using the best available global practice for the resolution of international disputes quickly and economically by way of administered arbitration on global standards. The rules have been developed to cater for the requirements of all constituent member institutions and to balance institutionalisation with party autonomy so that issues which deal with the legality and integrity of proceedings are integrated within the rules and conducted in a systematic way with efficient administrative control. The rules also provide a facility for AMA, or arbitration, mediation, arbitration procedure, which is an effective way by which a party can invoke arbitration and simultaneously attempt to resolve the dispute through mediation, and if successful, convert the outcome into an arbitral award, or in case of failure of mediation, to continue with the arbitration process. This mechanism helps to save time and also helps to make mediation settlement binding. The rules also make provision for the appointment of emergency arbitrators. Emergency interim relief award granted by an emergency arbitrator will have a binding effect on the parties. A party need not have a specific APCAM arbitration clause in its contract in order to invoke the APCAM rules. A party which has opted for institutional ADR services under the arbitration rules of any of the constituent institutional members of, in any of the countries can use those institutions to conduct arbitration of the disputes under the APCAM arbitration rules. In short, the rules provide an easy and comprehensive procedure for parties to adopt and conduct their proceedings in any of the countries without unnecessary and unwelcome red tape and expense. I commend this highly innovative and important process and wish AMCAP every success. I have much pleasure now in launching the APCAM arbitration rules. Thank you.
So after the launch of APCAM arbitration rules, we have available the rules on the APCAM website from where you can download the rules. Thank you, Your Honor, for your kind words. We are honored by your presence. These are the rules available on the website and you can download it. So we are moving forward. It is stated that an ounce of mediation is worth a pound of arbitration and a ton of litigation. Mediation is one of the foremost areas on which APCAM will focus. And so we move on to the unveiling the APCAM rules. I would like to invite Justice Chang Fa-Lo, former Justice Constitutional Court of Taiwan and permanent representative of Taiwan in WTO. Sir was the chair professor and lifetime distinguished professor at National Taiwan University, NTU, Dean of NTU College of Law, Director of Asian Center for WTO and International Health Law and Policy of NTU College of Law. He was also the former chairman, Asian WTO Research Network. I request Professor Chang Fa-Lo to unveil the rules and share your views on this initiative. Welcome, sir. Sir, you're not audible, sir. I think he's trying to say something, but
please tell him to unmute
now
his
it's
microphone.
fine. Yeah, that is unmuted already. I think he's not been able to connect his microphone with the laptop.
The microphone has been connected and I can see that he has unmuted himself, but it seems no voices is coming through.
Dr. Chan, can we message him?
Professor Justice Atol, may I please have you try to unplug the microphone and plug it, reconnect it again, please? Thank you. And see whether it can go through. Or you can simply just unplug the earphone and use the audio from your computer. It might
that will be better. Yeah.
But no, it's still not working.
We are learning new ways of working.
Or can you try to click the microphone button on your Zoom, and then there is a up arrow button, click it and try to select the other output from the microphone output source.
I appreciate his presence and
Have you unplugged the earphone from the computer? Yes, but your computer has a microphone itself, right? It's a laptop.
I think that has to be unplugged from the laptop also. From the computer, it has to unplug.
I think possibly his laptop volume is low. It needs to be increased.
Okay, so in the meantime, can we move for the further launch, and we can come back to Professor Chang Fellow? So after moving towards the further session, I'll come back to Professor Chang Fellow for the unveiling the mediation rules. Is that fine? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your presence, sir. ADR is snowballing as a dispute resolution process all across the globe, and more professionals are seeking to establish a career in this field. APCAM is in its pledge for ensuring professionalism and competence of arbitrators and mediators by establishing strict accreditation norms so as to ensure the users of the process consistent quality and ethical norms in all countries. To unveil the accreditation rules, I would like to invite Mr. Nopon Boyran Siakon, Vice President of Supreme Court of Thailand. I request Mr. Nopon to kindly unveil the rules and share your views on the center. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and I hope that my sound is quite can be heard from you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure and honor to have been invited to this very interesting event. Well, when we're talking about the out-of-court settlement, we normally thinking about only one way or the other, the negotiation, mediation, or arbitration. And besides that, we have to bring the case to the court. But this is the first time that I have happened to know that you can combine the mediation and arbitration together in one rules, which will be one of the alternative ways for the parties to settle their dispute. I hope that the launch of Asian Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation of our APCAM will pave the way for further cooperation amongst the Institute of the ADR or the alternative ways to solve the dispute for the parties. And it is very impressed that you can combine not only the mediation and arbitration together, you also classify the mediator and arbitrator according to the experiences that they have. You divide it into the accredited arbitrator, certified arbitrator, and international certified arbitrator. And also on the side of mediation, just classified the mediator into 3 levels: accredited, certified, and international certified mediator. I believe that this kind of activity of APCAM will open up more ways for the parties to resolve their dispute peacefully. And I hope that APCAM will be fulfill all of your purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And we are humbled by your presence. An efficient organization needs to guide its users about the process of ADR processes and also help them to initiate the services as their own convenience and comfort. And in this digital age, also helps them to initiate the service need to be available 24/7 and requires a very interactive and friendly user website. Now we move on to launch the APCAM website, one of the most significant part of any modern day organization. I would like to invite Mr. Justice Anup Raj Sharma, the chairperson of National Human Rights Commission and the former Justice Nepal. Sir has worked in the field of human rights for a very long time and has successfully brought about major changes in this field. I request Honorable Justice Anup Raj to unveil the APCAM website and share your views on this initiative. Welcome, sir.
Good evening to all body and distinguished. I'm very much delighted in this happy. Together we people have been assigned the task of launching the website of APCAM. I myself is personal to what is APCAM? I heard the creation of APCAM. It is the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration. They are the center which will provide alternative venue against the traditional court-based litigation. It will take over all the cases of the court, especially of the commercial nature, will be settled outside the traditional. Creation of center in Asia Pacific is step for one. If we take the area population of this area, it is highest in the world. Economic activity have taken every day. However, traditional justice could not meet the aspiration of litigation. We know that there are other sides. It is Asia Pacific Association of APRA, which deals with the arbitration. And in Nepal also we have NEPCA, but it deals with the arbitration. This is the first time that it is a combination of arbitration and mediation, which we thought can be done to APCAM. The International Center for Arbitrate Dispute Resolution, it is contained within India. Now the APCAM is a kind of collaboration between different associations of arbitration and mediation. In this occasion, let me introduce some bills. In 1974, we have had the first Arbitration Act regarding the date of Arbitration Act. Nepal is subject to the Arbitration Act. We want to learn more from the Asia Pacific region, especially as my country is very rich in heritages. Also, it is sandwiched between two giant countries, China and India. It has very significant and covered by many international laws, as well as the region of Nepal is very comfortable. It's a simplified mountain, green valleys, and five-star hotel facilities are enough here to become the venue of the arbitration. All logistic support to the arbitration mediator could be provided. Nepal has good connection through airways, India, Thailand, Korea, Dubai, Doha, Osaka, many other countries. So the cultural heritage of diversity and its blend of history with modernity have ushered the Nepal to take a step in the modern world. We have instituted the arbitration and mediation, a new tool to settle the dispute. We are eager to get knowledge provided in my country as well as other jurisdictions. So I again welcome you. Thank you. So
Thank you so much.
I declare the launching of website of APCAM.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. We are honored by your presence. Dr. Chang, before moving ahead towards the advisory board, can we go back towards for the Chang Fellow, sir? Can we check Mr. Chang Fellow, Dr. Chang?
I've invited Professor Chen Fenlo and waiting for his response. Yes, now we have Professor Chen Fenlo.
Yeah.
And he has connected.
I think again there is a problem.
I don't think the problem is resolved.
We appreciate your presence, sir, and we wish that we could hear you, sir.
Perhaps we can try to move on, and I'll try to communicate with Professor Chung and see whether we can get it sorted.
I think that the launch of the mediation rules will be in the end, I feel so. Because there are so much of people who are here and are waiting, so I think we could move ahead in the session, and we'll try back to Professor Cheng Fellow later after the felicitation of the advisory board member. So, a highly developed value system is like a compass. It serves as a guide to point you out in the right direction when you are lost. APCAM is fortunate to have an advisory board comprising of distinguished and eminent persons to guide it on the legal and ethical aspect as well as matters concerning ADR. We would now like to invite our advisory board members and speak a few words about their views on this endeavor. I will first invite Honorable Justice Nariman Venkatachalya, former Chief Justice of India. Sir was honored by the country by conferring Padma Vibhushan, the second highest honor. After serving as Chief Justice of India, he has served as a chairperson of National Human Rights Commission and headed the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution. Justice Venkatachalya is often referred as a saint in Indian judiciary and one of the most eminent Chief Justices India has ever seen. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request you to honor Venkatachalya to share his views on this occasion. Dr. Chen, you have to unmute Mr. Venkatachalya.
I cannot identify him from the participants.
You can identify the Mr. Raghav. Seshav Raghav.
Alfred, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honorable Justice Nariman, Honorable Justice Loko, Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph, other eminent judges, dignitaries, and all other distinguished participants in the inaugural function. Mr. Andy Xavier and other members of the APCAM. King Solomon, as the story goes, had a man standing next to him at his throne in his court. Whenever good or bad tidings were brought to Solomon's court, he would look at the man next to him. He would say, "This will also pass. Hopefully, COVID will also pass. But then, what the post-COVID world would be like? Every institution, its relevance and utility has to be assessed in the context of its time. Today, in our world, we see, amazingly, just richest 100 persons, just 100 persons, together own more than what the poorest 4 billion do. Technology is not an unmixed blessing. It can usher in unacceptable levels of inequality. The world will be divided not by ideology, but by technology. artificial intelligence will make those who own the data rule the world. It can interfere even with the process of democracy by influencing voter behavior and voter preferences. Law has increasingly tended to become a junior branch of economics. The emerging new world must sit up, take a deep breath, and realize what kind of unjust and unequal society it has created. In the next world order, the biggest business must be human resources development and human safety and security and building of just and caring societies. The best prosperity is the one that is shared. Coming to law and administration of justice, as our practices and procedures need not be as ancient and as old as our principles. A British judge once lamented that Britain's business methods were as antiquated as its legal methods, which would have been a bankrupt country long ago. Britain, where the Lord Chancellor of England once asked an Australian judge as to what he thought of the future of the courts. The Australian judge said that he was extremely happy to know that the Lord Chancellor thinks that the courts have a future at all. Recent studies touching the confluence of modern information technology and legal procedures have expressed great hopes for the future. Recent works such as Richard Susskind's Online Justice, Future of Courts have explored this potential. Arbitration and mediation are the humane man's alternative to litigative combats. This is the ultimate test of human potential for not only justice, but for civilized and humane methods to achieve it. Humanity has this potential, but it is suppressed by vulgar economic competitive culture. And Tattersall was the curator of the American Natural History Society, once said that the Homo sapien is not a mere genetic descendant of his ancestors. He's a new species himself. He is capable of much more than his ancestors in terms of justice and the need to live together, enjoying the many joys of life together. Happiness is experiential and not necessarily possessory. One cannot own a mountain, the sea, a river, or a beautiful sunset. Cultured methods of resolving human conflicts is the test of modern man's aspiration to be called civilized. Hopefully, Asia Pacific Center, just inaugurated by one of our most eminent judges of our country, who combines within himself the life of a priest, that of a philosopher, and a scholar, and a savant, will shed light on the road to a better world in litigation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are pleased to have you, sir, and thank you for your far-sighted words. Now I request Honorable Justice Madan Lokor, the former Judge Supreme Court of India. Prior to being elevated as a Judge of Supreme Court, Justice Lokor served as Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh and Delhi and Guwahati High Court as a Judge of Delhi High Court. He was the chairman of the Juvenile Justice Committee and is a renowned jurist. After retirement, Justice Lokor is serving a judge in the non-resident panel of Supreme Court of Fiji. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Justice Lokor, sir, to share your views on this occasion.
Thank you, Iram. Honorable Justice Venkacharya and all the distinguished judges who are present here today, all the distinguished participants from several countries. Welcome to all of you. At the outset, I must mention that speaking after Justice Venkatacharya is a very hard act to follow. Justice Venkatacharya, as was mentioned, is the paterfamilias of the Indian judiciary, an extremely learned man, an extremely wise man, and to follow him is a difficult task. But I would like to share some views on the functioning of APCAM in the future and what we are looking forward to. There are, a few things that are extremely important. One is that in this Asia-Pacific region, we have a diverse set of cultures. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's very good. We need this diversity. But when it comes to following certain rules and procedures in dispute resolution, particularly arbitration, then the different rules that have been framed or the different laws that have been framed over the years, depending upon the culture of the country, would cause confusion to persons from other parts of the world. For example, if I was to go from India to some other country in the Asia Pacific, I would find it very difficult to understand their laws and to try and implement those laws, through a judgment or through an arbitration award. And I'm sure it would be the same for others coming to India as well. So really, what APCAM is trying to do, and it is going to achieve that, is to bring about uniformity in the procedures, to bring about uniformity in the processes when we are dealing with arbitration. Now, that is very important because then, you see, there could be a situation where the three arbitrators are from three different countries. The two parties before the arbitral tribunal are from two other countries. So actually you will have 5 people from 5 different countries in an arbitration dispute in an international arbitration. And that can then become very confusing because the understanding of the law and so on would be different for everyone. So I think this uniform system is something that is really remarkable. And if we are able to achieve it, and I'm sure with all of us being present over there, we will be able to achieve it. It will bring about a sea change, I believe, in arbitration and resolution of disputes across different regions of Asia Pacific and later on in different parts of the world as well. The second very important thing is the rules of ethics that are postulated by APCAM. So I think it is very important that, again, because of cultural differences, it is important that a code of ethics which is understood and appreciated and implemented by all of us will, through this uniformity in the ethical practices and principles, will give much greater strength and will give much greater trust and confidence amongst the litigants who come before an arbitral tribunal. They know, the litigants will know, number one, that the members of the arbitral tribunal are persons who are competent, who are selected after a process. They know that they will have certain basic ethical standards. So whatever the judgment, it will be accepted. Whatever the award, that will be accepted. I think that is, something that is that one should be proud of, that when an award is delivered or when a judgment is delivered, both the parties, including the party that loses in the arbitration or loses in a case, is satisfied that justice has been done. That is very important. And I think APCAM will be able to achieve that through the rules on ethical practices. these are, I think, two very important aspects. Of course, there is going to be uniformity in the fees that is paid to the arbitrators. Very, very important, so that the standardization, I think, will bring about some degree of sanity in the fees that are paid to arbitrators. But overall, if you look at it in the larger context, not only in terms of arbitration, but also in terms of mediation, which is going to be the first step before arbitration, if the parties are able to resolve their disputes in what we as mediators call a win-win situation, there will, of course, be no need to go in for arbitration. So really, our efforts of all of us have to be to ensure, to try and see if a mediated settlement can be arrived at. If it can, excellent. If it cannot, well, perhaps the parties will have to go in for arbitration, and once they get the award, hopefully they will be satisfied. So really, these are steps that have been taken, small steps, but which will have huge results for the entire Asia-Pacific region. I'm pretty confident that with the guidance of some of our legal luminaries over here, academics, and so many others, I'm sure that we'll achieve the harmony that all of us are looking at throughout the world. In terms of dispute resolution, we talk about commercial disputes, but yes, there are all other kinds of disputes. Perhaps even those can be taken care of by APCAM. So I would wish all of you, we are all in a partnership, so to speak. I would wish all of you and all of us actually all the very best, and all the best to APCAM for achieving whatever the objectives they have set out to achieve. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, to enlighten us with your views and your input on the rules, uniformity of the rules. Sir, we make you sure that we will not disappoint you. So moving ahead, now I would like to invite Mr. Phonthep Thepkanjana, the former Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand. Mr. Thepkanjana has held a number of important positions like the Minister of Justice, Minister of Energy, former Chief Judge, and the Member of Constitution Drafting Assembly of Thailand. He had completed Masters of Comparative Law in American Practice from George Washington University Law School, is a barrister at law from the Thai Bar. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Honorable Mr. Phonthep to share your views on this initiative.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Justice, Excellency, distinguished members of Governing Board and Advisory Board of APCAM, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my privilege and honor to be online with honorable speakers and distinguished guests at this official launch of APCAM, the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation. First, I would like to congratulate the Arbitration and Mediation Centers from Asia Pacific countries, which jointly form APCAM, on your great achievement. I learned from Mr. Prasit Aswatwatanaphorn, Managing Director of Thailand Arbitration Center, that most of the driving forces for the establishment of APCAM are now sitting in the governing board. You have done a fantastic task. Ladies and gentlemen, due to COVID-19 pandemic, we are now facing one of the most difficult times in modern history of humankind. Every day, we hear news about global recession, high unemployment, business closure, bankruptcy, and reorganization. There unavoidably will be an influx of domestic and international commercial and business disputes. APCAM, therefore, is launched at the most appropriate time of desperate needs for arbitration and mediation. Ladies and gentlemen, arbitration and mediation have been and continue to be the most preferred alternative dispute resolution for international commerce and business. But there is still room for improvement. As the newest Arbitration and Mediation Center, APCAM has an advantage of choosing the best global practice available for its rules. The application of APCAM's most advanced arbitration and mediation rules in all member countries is beneficial to the party in disputes and assists the works of arbitrators, mediators, and counsels. APCAM arbitrator and mediator accreditation rules, which ensure that the party in dispute have competent and impartial arbitrators or mediators handle their disputes. Looks very impressive. Lastly, I wish APCAM a great success and look forward to witnessing APCAM as one of the world's respectable and popular arbitration and mediation centers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your generous word. We are honored to have you in the panel. I now invite Professor the Honorable Clyde Croft, former Judge Supreme Court of Victoria. Sir was the former member of Australia, professor in the Monash Law Faculty, and a renowned arbitrator and mediator. As an independent arbitrator and mediator, he has over 30 years experience in international and Australian arbitration and mediation as an arbitrator, mediator, barrister, senior counsel, Supreme Court judge, and in the policy advising in all aspects of international and domestic dispute resolution. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Honorable Clyde Croft, sir, to share your views on this initiative.
Thank you very much for your very kind introduction. Distinguished members and guests, Your Honours, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I join with you this afternoon and this evening here for the official launch of APCAM. It is also an honour and a great privilege to do so as a member of the APCAM Advisory Board. APCAM testifies to the importance of international cooperation and the facilitation of cost-effective and timely dispute resolution seamlessly across national boundaries together with readily enforceable outcomes. These are all attributes of dispute resolution which the business and commercial community seeks and requires. Its interest is productive activity, not complex, slow and expensive dispute resolution. The development and launch of APCAM comes at a very opportune and auspicious time. Asia Pacific is the fastest growing economic region of the world. And there is no reason to think the present pandemic crisis will affect this position, though of course it will almost certainly adversely affect overall global output. In fact, given the present situation, there is every reason to think that the demand for dispute resolution services will grow significantly. Moreover, given the adverse effect on incomes, it seems likely that the demand for non-litigious forms of alternative dispute resolution, whether in litigation or arbitration or a mixture of both, will be most popular and sought after. Which brings me to another reason for thinking this time is most auspicious for APCAM, namely the adoption of the United Nations Convention on International Settlement Agreements resulting from mediation, which was adopted by the UN General Assembly on the 20th of December 2018. Mediation is known for improving the efficiency of dispute resolution and is more flexible and more time and cost efficient than many other dispute resolution processes, particularly litigation and arbitration, though arbitration does have great scope for cost effectiveness and flexibility as well. Until the development of the convention by UNCITRAL and its formal adoption, the significant problem with the use of mediation was the lack of any efficient, effective and harmonised framework for cross-border enforcement of mediation settlement agreements. International arbitration has grown exponentially since arbitral awards became enforceable globally under the New York Convention of 1958. There is no reason to think that the same will not occur with mediation internationally. It is in this environment that APCAM will provide the business community with a seamless means of resolving international commercial disputes by mediation or arbitration under a single set of mediation and arbitration rules, a uniform fee structure, and a single panel of international mediators and arbitrators, uniformly accredited and of the highest standard. Eminent neutrals, arbitrators and mediators recognised for their integrity, impartiality, expertise, dispute resolution skills and reputation in their field of expertise, and from various national, language, cultural and legal backgrounds. All will be available to be impanelled by APCAM. Certainly this must be a very significant contribution to the business environment in the region. In concluding my remarks, I would like to congratulate most warmly and sincerely all those involved in and contributing to the development and launch of APCAM. We can see tonight just how much work and effort and devotion to the task has gone into developing rules and all the other things that might be a bit invisible, but if anyone who done any of this work realises just how much work's involved. So again, I warmly congratulate all those involved. Now, I look forward to APCAM's significant growth and development, and also hope that I can make some useful contribution in that respect. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, sir, for your generous word. We are honored to have you on the panel, sir, and you are an asset for APCAM. Now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Miyake Khomar, former Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Republic of Indonesia. She was a professor of Faculty of Law, Pajajaran University, Bandung. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Honorable Miyake Khomar to share your views on this initiative. Welcome, ma'am.
Honorable, distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On this happy occasion, the official launching of the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, I would like to extend my best wishes and sincere hopes that this APCAM Center will be a success in the years to come. Able to serve the communities in this region and beyond with fair, just, effective, and executable dispute solutions, be it in mediation or through arbitration. We all are looking forward to successful years ahead for APCAM under the leaderships of the governing bodies. And for the first governing body, I would like to extend my hopes and for their success. Especially, I would like to mention the chairman, Mr. Anil Savir from India, the respective vice chairman from Hong Kong and Malaysia, the Accreditation chair from Australia, the executive director from India, and the board members as well from Hong Kong and Nepal. Thank you and salam.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. We're happy to have you in the panel, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rimsky Yon Hu Keng, former Secretary for the Justice of Hong Kong, Special Administrative Region. Sir was the chairman of the Hong Kong Bar Association, as well as the member of Guangdong Committee of the Chinese People Political Consultative Conference prior to his appointment as a Secretary of Justice. We're honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Honorable Rimsky, sir, to share your views on this initiative.
Thank you. Honorable judges, distinguished members of the dispute resolution community. Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this event. Although it is an event conducted through video conferencing facilities, it is no less enjoyable to be a member having the chance to participate in it. And may I start with extending my very warm congratulations to the official launching of the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation. I think without going into the details, I guess many people would agree with the proposition that the current geopolitical situation in the world make it even more important to foster international cooperation and to enhance international exchange of wills and sharing of experience. And therefore, from this angle, the establishment of APCAM at this point of time is extremely timely, and it's also extremely important when one looks at it against the overall context of what is going on around the world. The international as well as domestic landscape of dispute resolution, whether arbitration, mediation, or other forms of dispute resolution, are experiencing huge challenges in almost every part of the world. But of course, there are also opportunities. And yet, in order to enable us to take advantage of the opportunities, I think we need to overcome the challenges. Others have already mentioned the effect of COVID-19. I agree it is something that we need to tackle, and we need to share experience on how to tackle it. But I think there are other issues, both in the context of international arbitration, such as the questions of cost and the impact of arbitration on development of court jurisprudence. There are also issues in the context of mediation, such as the impact of the Singapore Convention on Mediation and how we can train our mediators to be more familiar with the requirement of the conventions in question. However, I think with the establishment of APCAM, we can definitely all put up with our joint efforts to enhance our cooperation, and therefore I'm confident that we can all overcome whatever issues or hurdles that lie ahead of us. On this note, may I reiterate my congratulations to the establishment and the official launching of APCAM, and whether as an individual or as a member of the dispute resolution community in Hong Kong, I look forward to working with all of you in the future and to meet you in person after the COVID-19 situation improve, which I hope would come very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. We are also looking forward to work with you. And thank you for your insightful views and for joining the advisory membership. Now I would like to invite Mr. Justice Keshari Raj Pandit, former Chief Judge, High Court of Nepal. Sir was the former Executive Director of National Judicial Academy, Kathmandu, and former member of Central Justice Sector Coordination Committee, Supreme Court of Nepal. We are honored to have you in the APCAM Advisory Board, and I request Honorable Justice Pandit to share your views on this initiative. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Distinguished guests and dignitaries, my humble greetings to all of you from Nepal, the land of Himalayas. It's a matter of pride and privilege for me to participate in this August event held for the official launch of Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, which is appropriately described as a unique concept of collaboration among dispute resolution forums in Asia Pacific region. I would like to extend my felicitation for success of APCAM as an innovative and well-articulated initiative conceptualized and forged jointly by arbitration and mediation centers active in Asia Pacific countries. I'm immensely happy to note the fact that the APCAM will not only serve as a forum for sharing of knowledge, practices, perspectives, and experiences amongst us on mediation and arbitration, but help reinforce our resolve and commitment to expand opportunities to engage in effective delivery of ADR services to fast-growing business communities in the region. Increasing international trade and investment has led to growth and expansion in cross-border commercial disputes, which is very much a fact in this Asia-Pacific region too. Given the need for an efficient and effective dispute resolution mechanism, both mediation and arbitration have proved to be the preferred options for resolving cross-border commercial disputes and preserving business relationships. In this regard, the launch of APCAM is a historic step to contribute meaningfully in the resolution of in-country and cross-border commercial disputes in the region. Needless to say, Nepal is a smaller and developing economy relative to the emerging new economic powers in the Asia-Pacific region. However, it is growing rapidly with several capital projects in the field of roads, hydropower, railways are in the offing, and more are undergoing constructions. This has given rise to several contractual and business disputes as well. Our experiences have informed that the resolution of commercial disputes through resort to mediation and arbitration is most suited in contradiction to the adjudication of such disputes through courts. In this context, I would like to share the fact that the Federal Democratic Constitution of Nepal, enacted by the historic Constituent Assembly in 2015, commits, among others, to promote non-adversarial methods of dispute resolution. In this respect, Nepal has formulated arbitration law, practiced it, and gathered and consolidated rich experiences in resolving contractual and business disputes through arbitration. Similarly, we have enacted Mediation Act as umbrella legislation to promote and institutionalize mediation practices to resolve civil and commercial disputes, among others, while local government operation law creates mechanisms for community dispute resolution through mediation and conciliation. Nepal thus offers a suitable legal and institutional ambience for ADR services, especially mediation and arbitration, and has substantive experiences in these areas. We in Nepal hope that our association as a constituent chapter of APCAM will definitely assist us to further enhance ADR practices and add value in our quest, especially for promotion of mediation and arbitration in Nepal. Lastly, I'd like to offer my gratitude and extend sincere thanks to the ADR pioneers who dedicated themselves to architecture the noble and innovative concept of APCAM and made it possible for all of us to come together to engage in pursuing the shared objectives. Finally, I thank you all and pray that we'll win the fight against the scourge of COVID-19. Keep safe, stay healthy.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, sir, we need an effective mechanism of ADR with a uniform concept. And we are pleased to have your representation from the Nepal. So we are pleased to have you in the panel. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Honorable Justice Professor Dr. Taqdeer Rahmani, Chair of ADR Task Force of the Supreme Court of Republic of Indonesia. Dr. Taqdeer is representing the Chief Justice of Supreme Court of Republic Indonesia. We are honored to have your presence, and I request Honorable Justice Taqdeer to share your views on this initiative. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Justice, Judges, Advisory Board of APCAM, Governing Board of APCAM, ladies and gentlemen. Chief Justice Sharifuddin has asked me to represent him in this event, and he extends his best regard to all of you and apologize that he could not participate in this event. Supreme Court of Indonesia is very welcome to the existence of Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, or APCAM. The existence of APCAM it of course is expected to be chosen by international commercial or business parties when they have legal problems. Supreme Court of Indonesia always support the existence of LDR institutions such as APCAM because LDR mechanism is consistent with the idea of less costly, less time-consuming dispute resolution process. And it also helps us in reducing cases entering the court. Supreme Court of Indonesia also has promulgated the Supreme Court regulation concerning court-next mediation, which among others provide compulsory mediation, but also recognize the importance of outside mediation process. The position of Supreme Court in most cases always support the arbitration reward in case one of the parties try to nullify arbitration reward before the court. The Civil Chamber of Supreme Court of Indonesia has agreed that they will strengthen the arbitration reward. So on behalf of the Supreme Court of Indonesia, I would like to congratulate the existence of APCAM and wish you be successfully. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words, and we are happy to have you in the panel, sir. So we are having few videos for the felicitation messages since they could not join the live session due to some other commitments. So they have shared us their videos. So first video, I would like to start with Justice Kamal Bukhari, who was the founding justice of the Court of Final Appeal, which established to take over the Privy Council's role of Hong Kong's Court of Last Resort. Since October 2012, Justice Bukhari has been a non-permanent judge of that court, hearing appeals from time to time. Welcome, Mr. Bukhari.
Mr. Chairman, office bearers, and other members of the board. It is with pleasure, and I esteem it an honor, to offer you congratulations on this, the center's inauguration. We are in the midst of a pandemic which has forced us to interact in this remote manner. But the remoteness is only physical. Emotionally, we are all close together. Let us hope for better times soon. And meanwhile, let us share this thought. If the center can manage, and it is managing, to progress even in these difficult times, then we must surely be entitled to be confident of what it will be able to accomplish in the better times to come, hopefully soon.
Thank you so much, Justice Kamal Bukhari. Now we have another message from Dr. Jonathan Chui Kun Sham, Chairman of Chinese General Chamber of Commerce. It's one of the oldest and largest such chamber in Hong Kong. We welcome Dr. Jonathan.
On behalf of the Hong Kong Chinese General Chamber of Commerce, I would like to convey my heartfelt congratulations on the inauguration of the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation. The establishment of this center is no doubt a great news for business and trade communities for the participated countries, as it is set up to uniform the accreditation systems as well as standardize the rules and practice for resolving cross-border disputes. It helps to minimize the hassle of adhering to different jurisdictions and thus will accelerate commercial activities within the region. I'm glad to learn that some other countries have also shown their interest in joining this institution. And I believe the center will expand its network in Asia Pacific in the future and will play an increasingly important role in creating a vibrant business environment in the region. May I wish the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation every success in promoting this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan. Now we have the message from one of my favorite mediator and the professor to whom I follow, Professor Nadia Alexander, Director of Singapore International Dispute Resolution Academy and a member of Advisory Board of United Nations Global Mediation Panel. I welcome the video of Professor Nadia.
To the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, welcome to the world. APCAM's birthday is something to celebrate. And the 6th of August 2020, today, the birth of APCAM, is one day short of a year since the historic signing of the Singapore Convention on Mediation, which took place on the 7th of August 2019 here in Singapore. To APCAM's many parents from 10 institutions in 7 jurisdictions, congratulations, and wise you are to entrust guardianship of your baby to a most esteemed International Advisory Board and a Governing Board. One merely has to peruse the list of members of the Advisory Board with its eminent judicial composition, and the Governing Board, chaired by the visionary Anil Xavier, to know that this child, APCAM, is in very good hands. For it will need nurturing, this baby of yours. There will be teething problems. Oh, and don't even mention adolescence. And of course, the parents won't always see eye to eye about what is in the best interests of the APCAM child. But as mediators, I know that you'll recall always the common ground and the common interests that have brought you together here today, and work hard to generate innovative options to continue to pave this pioneering path forward. Of that I am certain. For this APCAM child has a promising future ahead. She has strong institutional homes and a robust code of conduct, but perhaps more importantly, she has a passionate and committed dispute resolution family who care deeply for her. Congratulations to the APCAM family. I look forward very much to watching APCAM grow and thrive in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Professor Nadia. Indeed, we will foster and nurture with hard work. More power to you, ma'am. See, I'm really grateful for all these 3 eminent people in the field of ADR to send their video messages, though they are not here, but we can feel their presence. Thank you so much, all of you. As I said earlier, APCAM has a very stringent norms for accreditation for mediators and arbitrators. We have a 5-member accreditation committee who are eminent professionals from various countries. Dr. Rajesh Sharma is the chairman of committee. Dr. Sharma is the senior lecturer, legal and dispute studies of RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia, and honorary professor in many universities. He is associate director of the Hong Kong WTO Research Institute, a member of Asian WTO Research Network, and a panel arbitrator in many international organizations. I request Dr. Sharma to kindly introduce the APCAM accreditation.
Namaste. Namaste from Melbourne, and good evening, everyone, distinguished guests, judges, and all the colleagues. It is my honor to serve in this committee, and I feel the responsibility given to me. This committee is composed of quite able people who will be assisting me in that. But before that, I would like to just suggest that and give you some introduction about our accreditation system. We have 3 layers of mediators and arbitrators. The starting level is AAA. This is APCAM accredited arbitrators. AAM is APCAM accredited mediators. Similarly, we have APCAM ACA and ACM, which is APCAM certified arbitrators and mediator. And the highest level is APCAM internationally certified arbitrators and mediators. The starting level for the APCAM accredited arbitrators and mediator, they have to go through the APCAM recognized training program or approved training program, and then they will be assessed, and then they will be given this accreditation. The second level which we have is APCAM certified arbitrators and mediators. They will also go through the training program, approved training program, and they have to have an experience of 15 arbitrators as a co-arbitrator or mediator or co-mediator to qualify for that. And at the highest level, the international certified arbitrators and mediator, they have been given, they will be having the training, but apart from that, they will have 30 cases to be served as an arbitrator or mediator, co-arbitrator or co-mediator in that case. However, for the starting, what we have done is that we have a second path, which is an experience path, which they can follow. And in that, we have invited our member organizations to recommend those who are already established and experienced arbitrators and mediators to come through the experience path. And they have been nominated by our members. And they are all the names which we know in the world. They are already established and famous. So we are very fortunate to have those people on our list. With their experience, we can move forward with that. I should also say that from the future, when we will have any induction in our system, it has to go through an independent committee. This independent committee will be guided and supported by other external members, not related to any member organization, but separately, so that we can maintain some kind of not create any conflict of interest, some kind of independence and some kind of impartiality for the selection process. This we have to do it because we want to maintain the quality, and we want to give our users that we are providing them a quality service. So for that, we have to do that, and we will do that. Having said that, we are not saying that we have to reinvent the wheel. We have to rely on the experience which has already been accumulated in this world by the arbitrators and mediators. And we have those experienced people coming on board. And apart from that, we have people who are coming, who are energized, very energetic, and they're young, and they are upcoming. We are also involving them. And most importantly, we have inviting the women and the people from the other parts where they are not developed, arbitration or mediation is not developed, we are also encouraging them to join. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, we have a group of experience, we have energy, and we have a diversity in our panel. Most importantly, all other guests have already said that we have a high ethical standard, and we want to maintain that, and we want to follow that. So we also have a disciplinary committee, and I have been given the charge of that also in that. So if you look at all the members, Justice Lokur and other members also said that the arbitrators and mediators should be culturally sensitive. So we have also put this in our mind, and we want our arbitrators and mediators to be culturally sensitive to that, because we have a diverse culture, we have a diverse religion, we have a diverse ethnicity. So they have to be very sensitive to that. And that also helps them that when they are making a decision, when they are doing something for the parties, for the resolution of dispute, they will keep those factors in mind so that ultimately the region or the country and all these things, the development part should not be missed out, particularly in the ADR field. So I can say that we have, through this APCAM arbitration and the mediation center, through this esteemed panel of arbitrators and mediators, we want to provide quality services, access to justice to all our users, and hope we will achieve that. And with the guidance of our advisory board member, we are sure that we can maintain that. So thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for giving us detailed insight about the APCAM accreditation. And thank you being pro-women and pro-young. I remember the saying, a phrase, catch them young. Thank you so much, sir, always favoring us. So APCAM is an international area center formed jointly by many prominent arbitration and mediation centers from Asia Pacific Center. Many other institutions from other countries have also expressed their interest to join APCAM, and they will be doing shortly. The collaboration and combined forces of this institution is strength of APCAM, which is a concept made for the first time in the world. With the help of the stakeholders of a dispute from the hazards of appointing different institutions and subscribing the different laws or rules, thereby ensuring a swift and cost-effective medium for resolution of dispute. Now we are moving toward the most exciting session of this event, that is the signing of the memorandum by the member organizations. For that, I would like to invite our chairman, Mr. Anil Xavier, to sign the ceremony and express his views on this. I would like to invite you, sir, to sign this.
Thank you, Ram. It's my greatest privilege to represent the Indian Institute of Arbitration Mediation as one of the founding members of APCAM and to sign the memorandum on behalf of IAM. And now the centers that we have in India will also function as the APCAM centers in India. So I've signed it, and this is the memorandum. And as I said earlier, APCAM India would be performing as a secretariat for the first 2 years, and then it will go on to other countries on rotation. Thank you, and I'm proud to be part of APCAM.
Signing ceremony, sir.
No, Ram, I've signed it and I've shown it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor for us because you are my mentor, and it's a great feeling to talk about you being my mentor, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Ms. Delcy Legonis de Anglim, Governing Board Member at APCAM and Director, Australasian Dispute Resolution Center, Australia, to sign the memorandum and express her views.
Thank you very much. Delcy. Thank you, Ram. Dear colleagues, friends, distinguished guests and family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you who kindly join us today from all corners of the globe, from Kenya and South Africa, from Africa to Chile and Peru, from South America, from Austria and England in Europe to Vietnam and Cambodia in our region. Since 2014, the Australasian Dispute Resolution Center has been promoting and training the legal profession in mediation. We have also assisted businesses to resolve their cross-border disputes cost efficiently through alternative dispute resolution methods, especially mediation. Our aim is to help businesses to get back to business in a swift manner. Now, joining APCAM, we will continue this work, but also we will continue to promote the work of UNCITRAL to achieve global harmonization in international trade law. The latest great achievement, as mentioned before, of UNCITRAL, the Mediation Singapore Convention, signed on the 7th of August last year, almost 1 year now, is very close to our hearts. I have been honored to participate actively in the negotiations and the drafting of this convention. My special gratitude to my colleagues and friends, Mr. Anil Savia, Dr. Francis Law, and especially Dr. Rajesh Sharma for inviting our center to be part of this great initiative. I hope with the support of all of you, businesses, government, and colleagues from the legal profession, we can bring a new force to alternative dispute resolution, in particular to mediation. On behalf of my board of directors, I will now sign our commitment to be part of APCAM.
Thank you, Delcy. Now I would like to invite Dr. Law Wai Hong Francis, the Vice Chairman APCAM and Chairman Hong Kong International Mediation Center, Hong Kong, to sign the memorandum and express his views. Dr. Francis, you have to unmute you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Iram. Good day to all of us. So welcome to this ceremony. We are so glad here to have the chance to communicate with all of you. And we have the very honor you're coming to see our signing ceremony. On behalf of the Hong Kong International Mediation Center, we are so proud to have the chance to work with another 8 organizations in Asia Pacific to join organize the APCAM to promote using mediation and arbitration in resolving international disputes. And also we got a lot of work in doing the standardization of the international mediation and arbitration in accreditation and also rules. So we look forward, have the chance to continue our effort and invite a lot of the different organizations joining us to promoting use the ADR in serving our business and cross-border trade. On behalf of the Hong Kong International Mediation Center, I sign the agreement for joining the APCAM Association. And here is the certificate in signing this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Francis. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Datu Qutbul Zama Bukhari, Vice Chairman APCAM and Co-Chairman Malaysian Mediation Center, Malaysia, to sign the memorandum and express his view.
Thank you, Aram. I hope everybody can hear.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the signing ceremony of the founding of a new organization, namely the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation. As I will be involved in the closing ceremony as well, so I'm going to straight away sign as a member, as a founding member of APCAM. So on behalf of the Malaysian Mediation Center and as a founding organization of APCAM, it's a great honor to sign the founding of APCAM on the 6th of August, 2020. Oops, can you see? Can't.
You have to show it in front of you. You have to keep in front of you.
Yeah, okay.
Now it's good, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rama. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite our Secretary General, Mr. Fahmi Shahab, and Director PMN Indonesian Mediation Center, Indonesia, to sign the memorandum and express his views.
Thank you, Iram. Distinguished guests, honorable justices, judges, esteemed APCAM members, and respectful guests, we are, as a founding member of APCAM, Indonesian Mediation Center, are proud and privileged to support this superb initiative. We are quietly confident that in the face of an ever-growing demand for efficiency and equity in settling commercial and business disputes worldwide, APCAM is the answer. On behalf of Indonesia Mediation Center, I will sign the memorandum.
Mr. Shahab, you have to also keep it in front of you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Pasit Asawa Watanapon, Governing Board Member, APCAM, and Managing Director, Thailand Arbitration Center, Thailand, to sign the memorandum and express his views.
Thank you so much, Iram. My dear colleague from APCAM, honorable distinguished justices, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Thailand Arbitration Center, THAC, I am very pleased to sign a memorandum of understanding to be a part of Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, APCAM. THAC is a new arbitration and mediation center based in Bangkok and started its operation in 2015. We are a young organization that strives to be a renowned international ADR center in Asia. Today, it is our historic event that THAC and other 10 ADR centers jointly form a new organization in order to promote and uplift the standard of ADR process in our region. I am confident that APCAM will grow quickly and expand extensively in the near future. Finally, I am truly grateful for the opportunity to cooperate with all of our APCAM members. We will move forward with success together, and now I am signing the memorandum.
Thank you, Mr. Pasit. Definitely, we will success together. Thank you, Mr. Pasit. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Sui Wing Yi Sylvia, a governing board member, APCAM, and immediate past President, Hong Kong Institute of Arbitrators, Hong Kong, to sign the memorandum and express her views.
Hello, dear all. I am mindful that this ceremony has taken longer than scheduled. Therefore, I will cut it short. Hong Kong Institute of Arbitrators has a history of over 24 years. And please go to our website to see all we have done. And on behalf of Hong Kong Institute of Arbitrators, it is my great honor to sign the certificate to signify our pledge to ensure that APCAM child will grow up healthily and happily and will meet the expectations expressed by all the other guests earlier. Is the certificate? Oops.
Thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, you have to keep it like this. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you very much for your mindfulness and thoughtful about towards the time also. Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Matrika Nirola, Governing Board Member, APCAM, and Secretary General, Nepal International Area Center, Kathmandu, to sign the memorandum and express his views.
Thank you, Ram.
Welcome, sir.
Honorable Chief Guest of the evening, distinguished guest, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Please accept my warm greetings from the lap of the Mount Everest, the top of the crown. Today, with lots of love and best wishes from you all, we ADR activists from Asia Pacific region are being able to make a historic evening. In this occasion, on behalf of the Nepal International ADR Center, NIAC, I am feeling so humble and happy to be signing this document and offering as our common achievement to the Asia Pacific region. Thank you so much to our chief guest, distinguished guest, including Right Honorable Anuprat Sharma, from their gracious presence and launching the APCAM as an historical event. Now I'll be signing and showing the document.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Narula. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. So now we have signed memorandum by all organizations. Indeed, it is a historic step, and together we will make a great difference in the field of ADR. I'm sure and confident about it. Now we are coming to the closing of the inauguration ceremony of Asia Pacific Center of Mediation and Arbitration. I request Dr. Francis Law and Dr. Khutbul Zama Bukhari to give the closing remark.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman, colleagues, judges, Secretary for Justice, and guests. I'm pleased to provide some closing address to this special event for the global dispute resolution industry, the inauguration of the Asia Pacific Center of Arbitration and Mediation, the APCAM. We were privileged to see the signing ceremony of all founding organizations of the APCAM and the inauguration of its mediation rules, arbitration rules, and accreditation rules. Our special thanks to the facilitation from our highly reputable advisors and elites of the legal and dispute resolution professionals in Asia Pacific. We are so honored to have hundreds of guests joining this inauguration. My heartfelt thanks to our guests of honor, Mr. Justice Nariman, Mr. Justice Neil McCarthy, Mr. Justice Chantalu, Mr. Justice Notpo Podharanchi Yahon, Mr. Justice Rob J. Sharma, and the Professor Wistero, and our honorable advisors, Mr. Justice Venkatachari, Mr. Justice Maiden B. Walker, and Mr. Justice Pon Hip Kanjalna, Mr. Justice Professor Craig Clark, Professor Dr. Mike Koma, Mr. Justice Kisara Japadi, Mr. Rinsky Yuen, the former Justice Secretary for Justice of Hong Kong, and Professor Dr. Tadil Vamada. APCAM is an international ADR center formed jointly by major arbitration and mediation centers from the Asia Pacific, which hosts APCAM centers in our respective countries. The vision of the APCAM is to assist the international business community to resolve their international and cross-border dispute under a single set of mediation and arbitration rules with a uniform fee structure, and to create a single platform or a single panel of international mediators and arbitrators with uniform accreditation so as to establish the best standard in professionalism and credibility, so the business community gets unbiased professionals that resolve disputes in a timely manner and thereby create a better business environment in the region. Hong Kong have the privilege to have been highly involved in the establishment of the world-class dispute resolution center. We have two founding organizations in Hong Kong, the APCAM Hong Kong Center, the Hong Kong International Mediation Center, and the APCAM Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Institute of Arbitrators. We do look forward to more centers in the region to join APCAM, putting our joint effort to provide a very good link by which we will be able to work together in order to promote the collaboration in business, international law, and dispute resolution professional services. I wish you all a very successful and healthy year coming, and I wish all of you a very enjoyable stay in Hong Kong and in Asia Pacific. We welcome you to visit our APCAM centers and enjoy using our centers facility in the Asia Pacific. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Francis Law. So before going to the closing remark by Mr. Qutbul Zama Bukhari, I would like to ask Dr. Chang if we could reconnect Professor Chang Fellow.
Professor, we cannot hear you. Can you try it again? No, it's still not working. No. Okay.
I think it's not working.
Professor Chang has written a greetings and congratulations and passed to one of our council members.
Or can we ask him to read it for us? I appreciate your effort, sir.
Rajesh?
Yep. On behalf of Justice Chang Fallow, I'm reading his speech. So it's my mouth, but it is his words. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My sincere apology for the technical difficulty of my microphone I have caused. Certainly he has not caused. It is an honor for me to be part of this history event of official launch of APCAM. I like to congratulate to my friends who involved in the creation of this unique center for our region. The APCAM is absolutely a very innovative initiative from many perspectives. This is uniquely an inter-organizational institution composed of many Asia-Pacific ADR institutions. As its members, it creates a wide-reaching network to provide ADR services for the business communities in this region. It is also establishes to set of rules which necessarily flexibility and high quality standard to be used among its member ADR centers. With such innovative ideas and with the great efforts being put by many capable colleagues, I trust APCAM will be of great success in promoting its services and in leading the Asia Pacific region as well as rest of the world in updating their rules and enhancing their professional services. Concerning the mediation rules, which I am going to launch, we can also identify many innovations of great usefulness, such as assisted deal making to help parties make efficient business deals to manage dispute, and such as the project mediation, under which parties can opt for their dispute management clause to jointly appoint a project mediator or parties to work together in a more collaborative environment and to help contract proceed smoothly. These are truly amazing thoughts which perhaps can be considered as our Asia Pacific way of addressing disputes, although with diverse cultures. In the past, most ADR institutions focus much on arbitration. Mediation is underused, unfortunately. It is great to see the equal emphasis on mediation in our APCAM arrangement. I have a very high expectation on the future use of mediation in our region. Looking at the efficiency in creating the organizational structures and rules, I am confident on the ability of our colleagues in bringing APCAM to a status of leading the world in the ADR industry. With this, I am so pleased and honored to formally announce the launch of APCAM mediation rules. Congratulations and all the best to the APCAM for its future operations. So thank you, Justice Law. This is the end of his speech.
Orang India tuh mau banyak ini, banyak ngomong.
Thank you so much, Professor Chang Fallow. And we appreciate your efforts and we acknowledge the presence here. And indeed, Project Mediator is an innovative and novice idea. Thank you, Professor Chang Fellow. And now I will come back to the vote of thanks, and I would like to invite Mr. Dato Qutbul Zama Bukhari to conclude and say things about the event.
Thank you, Ira. Honorable judges, eminent members of the advisory board, my fellow members of the governing board, honorable and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A well-known American psychologist and a writer on conflict resolution, Kenneth K., who hails from Harvard, once said, "If we manage conflict constructively, we harness its energy for creativity and development." So that what we have done today, namely the launching or inauguration of the Asia Pacific Center for Arbitration and Mediation, which shall provide international businesses a common center within the realms of Asia Pacific to enable businesses to harness its energy for creativity and development when they are faced with conflicts. So I encourage businesses to look at our common centers as a provider of positive vibes. We, the arbitrators or mediators at these common centers, are well qualified and well equipped to assist you in resolving your disputes and to provide you with that creativity and the development which you need. Our common arbitration rules and mediation rules are simplified to provide you easy access to reach a comfortable resolution. We provide you a forum to enable you to achieve resolutions in the quickest manner as possible so that you can continue with your businesses. President John F. Kennedy said, and I quote, "Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate." Business disputes can be easily resolved by way of negotiation and mediation. So mediate to resolve disputes. Do not be afraid to mediate. Let me take this opportunity to thank all those involved in organizing this wonderful event for your time and effort to enable this gathering of like minds to occur. My sincere thanks also to all of you, in particular our guests and those who have given speeches to celebrate this inauguration, for sacrificing your time and effort to ensure the success of this event. Finally, what I would like all of you to remember when we leave this inauguration ceremony is that today, 6th of August 2020, shall be marked in history, the coming together of a community whose vision and mission is to assist the international business community to resolve their international and cross-border disputes effectively under a common rules of arbitration and mediation within the Asia-Pacific region. With that, I declare that the ceremony has come to an end. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Bukhari. They are indeed the mission and vision to enhance the ADR quality. I must say that the digital launch has not reduced the quality, but it enhanced the grandeur. So, to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. With this, we come to an end of the inauguration ceremony and embark upon a new journey of APCAM. Thank you all for your time and patience, and look forward to a continued support and patronage. I also take this opportunity to thank LiveLaw, who has broadcasted this function to more than 10 million people. I would like to thank Vietnam Bar Federation for the support, and Justice E. Gusti Somanata from Republic of Indonesia. And last but not least, I would like to say thanks to Dr. Alfred Chan from Hong Kong, who has managed the entire Zoom meeting so perfectly. Thank you, Dr. Chan. And now I hand over the stage to Dr. Chan to conclude the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ram, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, to join us in this one of these significant moments together through the screen. The APCAM is currently operational. You may seek our online case registry to administrate the dispute cases at APCAM, and the mediators and arbitrators on our panelists are ready for providing professional services. May I invite the speakers and our board members to stay behind in the meeting room that I will create separately later on. And as for the remaining guests, once again, on behalf of the APCAM, please allow me to send our gratitude to our distinguished guests, participants in Zoom, an audience from different media channels and different parts of the world who join us at the inauguration ceremony and share with us this meaningful and wonderful event. It is definitely a positive vibe we currently need in the sensitive time of the COVID-19 outbreak, and we wish you all to stay healthy and well. We look forward to seeing you in another occasions in the near future. Thank you very much. So I will now create a separate room for our distinguished guests, and our board of directors would love to have a few words with all of you. Thank you. Okay, apparently it is being moved.